Oh, that's not the photo. Back out, back out. For one of the AI things, it was gonna be the what's it called? The
We are also officially live now.
are we now? Oh no.
Hello, good evening. As you can see, we're still using the snowy background because I haven't figured out how to turn that off, but it still fits because this is my Christmas episodes.
So it works.
And oh, it's been so long. I've had 2 weeks off work. My brain's still a little bit fried, but good evening. Welcome to BatYard Productions. I'm going to be your host this evening, the hostess with the mostest, your Green Lantern from Oa Jerry, joined by my fellow co-host. Yeah, I was going to say something funny, but I decided not to.
Oh,
This
boo.
guy.
Hey, what's up? I'm Matt from Gotham. How you guys doing?
And for tonight, I had Crispy watch Billy and Mandy Save Christmas and The Ginger Dead Man. But before we get into that, we're going to do a little bit different of a BS segment. And to fit the festive mood of Christmas still, I propose a question to you, Matthew Crispy. If
Help.
you could bring magic into the real world, but you could only specialize in one type, would you, and what would it be?
Explosion. No, no.
If you want me to simplify it, we can do it in
Ah,
like Magic the Gathering, like a color wheel. So red, green, blue, white, and black.
okay. Let's do that. Um. Hmm.
But you can only master one magic color. But you get all of the powers and cool stuff that comes with it.
Like I can't mix with like I can't do like a mix piece or no, I can't. Not good.
Strictly one.
Just strictly one. If it's Magic and Gathering, I would go green.
Interesting, interesting.
It's
If
my favorite color.
obviously I would do it, and I think you know the exact color I would pick as well.
I think I'm between with you would be red or black because what's it called? What's it swamp? Was it black swamp? Isn't it?
Yeah, Black Swamp.
Yeah, because
Well,
that's more necromancy and all that stuff.
some colors have other things that are
I know you
swamp esque.
mix. It's like mixture stuff and all that junk.
Yeah,
That's what I
it.
was trying to do when you were saying like mix. Like when I was saying mix, I was hoping like we can mix like I was always going to do red and green mix, Christmas. But I need because like that would be a cool mixture to have, or you can do green and black mix. That would be even neater. Either neither. Yeah, but
I would actually. So I have two different choices for different reasons. Since obviously we can't mix and we only get one,
hmm
I would do blue magic
oh
given the first choice because blue magic deals a lot with, just raw power and, intelligence, illusions, trickery, and trying to, just get the most advantage while locking down your opponent. And then if I couldn't do blue, I would definitely do black because, necromancy, zombies, vampires,
yeah,
occasional werewolf and ghost get thrown in there as well.
true.
It depends on what route you want to go. But also just the fact that, it's the afterlife and you're in as much control of it as you would love to have.
I swear to God, I would think you just go down the necromancy and just mix black and blue together.
That's what I would do because
Just
that's
sort
what
of
I've
start
done
with that,
before.
then go.
But I'm like, oh, when I wrote this, because I had all of this written down on not a spreadsheet, but like a Word document.
Mhm.
And I was like, I backed myself into a corner on this one.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
as I'm sure you might be wondering, well, why would we bring magic into the real world? Because what's Christmas without magic? And if Santa was to have, a true magic element, he would obviously be a summoner because of all the elves, white for the snow and the purity of Christmas, and then also the fact that a lot of, people always talk about the happy times that come with Christmas, but nobody, wants to also have that conversation about, the dark, the hard times and depressions people go through as well. And sometimes there people have that one Christmas where they just have the best thing ever happen to them and it changes their whole life around. So I think that would be something that Santa would have. And I think it would also be cool to see Santa just have a whole fleet of just summoned creatures pulling a sleigh like a griffin, Pegasus, hell, even a griffin, maybe a basilisk, because he's gonna need rocks to give to the bad kids.
You're naughty. Turn freaking stone. Wake up, Charlie. You've been bad this year. Here's the basilisk. Like, what the fuck?
And I also thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to share some, funny, great, or this was the weirdest Christmas I had because my parents got gifts wrong. And I want to open up with that because me and my brother will never forget. It was one Christmas that, obviously our parents, know favorite colors, everything about us. They got it wrong one year. And they gave us the wrong colored digivices. And it was the D3s from Digimon
Car
Adventure
swipers?
OT.
No,
No,
no D3. Those freaking ones, the weird oval ones, isn't it?
yeah, the weird, like
Yeah,
it's flat at the top, but then like oval at the bottom.
yeah.
Yeah, they got the wrong color. They put the wrong colors with the wrong name, and we were like, "Oh no, it's fine. We'll get over it. It's the same thing." But you guys dropped the ball.
Santa's not real. No,
How could you possibly screw this up? I don't understand it.
it's okay. Jerry's venting right now.
It was
That
it
was
was
his
the funniest
depression.
thing ever because now we look back on it and laugh hysterically.
I don't know. Mine was like, I don't know. Mine was like randomly getting a game, and I just look at my parents like, I don't have this system. Like that's the thing. And I'll just like they're like just keep going, and that'll be it. Like I'll be just like, okay. That's how it went with me. Like it would just be like random ass. Like I'm not expecting what the hell what's going on. Like I've never asked for any of my game consoles, and I'll just magically just get. Oh, like I never wanted a PlayStation 3 ever in my life. I got a PlayStation 3 one year. I just like said, "Okay, I'll play it. I don't know what to do with it." Nick, you want it? Because Nick didn't have anything. I just didn't know what to do with it one year. I feel selfish. I like it's spoiled. Like I feel spoiled on that one, but I'm just like it just confused the fuck out. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was another year. God, I wish I could remember it in so much detail. But I think it was one year. This was past Christmas. This is when, this was the year we had just a whole bunch of freezing rain and just sleet and snow and stuff.
When don't you have that?
We haven't actually had that in quite a time.
Every time we talk about winter with you, you're like, it's just ice. Ice
Yeah,
is
we
out
get
there.
ice
That's
first
it.
and then we get the fun stuff. But it's not even fun because under it is a sheet of ice. So, whoa, just slip, fall, break your neck. Which coincidentally, there's a good chance we're finally going to see snow this Saturday, which we haven't done. I think we've seen just flurries of snow, but I think this weekend going into probably the middle of next week, we're hitting some really low temperatures. So we might have a couple of days off because just ice and snow on the road and people not knowing how the freak to drive in it or having sense about themselves to drive in it. But that's another story for another rant.
True.
But
We got
this
like a
one
flood.
particular year, we had so much just freezing rain and snow that I remember I had just officially started my job and I basically had 2 weeks off work because of the sheer volume of winter weather we got. it was like I got a free vacation, which is the best part.
God. No, I
Me, my
remember.
brother, my cousin, we just stayed in our bonus room. We played Warframe on PS4s. We played Grand Theft Auto. We played some Yu-Gi-Oh. We just did everything possible, just having fun, burning time.
Oh
Stay up
God.
2 in the morning, wake up at 10 in the afternoon, and go warm the cars up to get the ice off because the ice had compacted so much. It was literally an iceberg on windshields.
I was gonna ask you, how'd you get in your car to warm up your car? Did you use a flamethrower? Did you torch?
Just got the snow, got the tennis rackets, and just walked around like
Just smacking it.
just walking up to the car, and then I think I had to literally let mine run for 45 minutes
Oh God.
because the ice was just so thick on there.
I've never had that. I don't
It's not
know.
fun.
I had like a layer, like a small little glass panel, like enough glass, but like I mean ice, but no, I never had like an inch worth of ice on my car.
I think when everything was said and done, I had a piece of ice finally like break apart from the rest of it from my windshield wipers, and it was about the size of like the Craftsman like 30 pieces in one screwdriver set.
Yeah?
It was like the size of that box, but just make it an inch thick, but it was that size. And
No.
when it flew off and broke, I freaked out because I'm like, oh God, what if? Luckily, there was nobody behind me because I was already driving slow as is. But it just that wind was coming, I think like 15 miles an hour or something, and it just carried it off into the wild blue yonder.
No, no. That's never nope. I've never had that kind of weather never had that style of ice or anything on a car or behind a car or any I've never seen that on a car near me.
It's
No,
awful.
because we get snow and weathery mix and all that stuff and sometimes ice, but like no.
I
No.
would gladly trade our ice for just standard snow. I can deal with snow better than ice
Hmm.
because everything around where Nashville is just so hilly. Like, oh, you think you're fine until whoop, you feel that tire just try to get back on from almost sliding into that next lane, and ooh, buddy,
That's why I got like 7 bags of sand in my freaking truck right now.
I need to get me some snow tires because I forget we can down here we can have snow tires. I think all the way to like March or April, and we can start in I think November for us.
Hmm.
I looked it up once because I was like, I'm not gonna keep dealing with this stupid snow.
I just get all year long tires. That's how I usually go with mine. I don't really change my tires either. They don't get down. They don't. I don't. I've never had bald tires in my life.
I only had a tire go bald once, but that was because I needed a new tie rod.
No, yeah, no, I know. But my brother has went like he had a few sets of bald tires before, but that's it.
Did he sand them down?
No, he's just an idiot with his cars. So he did not sand them down. If he did, oh no, definitely no. Oh god.
Honestly, I'm so fearful of like the weather we get here because we get a lot of rain and like I said, a lot of ice. So whenever like I go get my oil and filter change, and they're like, your tire treads are looking good, but they're in the yellow right now, so you can go another 2, 3 oil changes without having replaced. Okay, cool. I'm on the phone calling Discount Tires. Hey, I need a full set. Um, Give me a little 5% discount for booking the appointment, and I'll see you guys in 45 minutes.
Ah. No, I do tire rack. And going, we're not sponsored by any of these companies that we speak of.
Unless they want to throw us a sponsorship.
Tire rack,
I
please.
love Discount Tires because they have the best price on Yokohamas who also has the best cheap tire for the most affordable, safe price.
I never tried. I never tried discount tires. I've tried always Tire Rack. Tire Rack always helps me out. So Tire
We
Rack.
don't have a tire rack down here.
Well, we use the website. It just gets shit to our house and all that stuff.
Ah,
Yeah.
good old trusty tire rack.
Okay. Do we have any other DC noise? Do we have any news like other newses other than weather? Where's
I
the weather
do have
forecast now?
some news, but I want to save it for the next podcast
Okay.
because some things I need to get confirmation on because
You
I've
want it?
been seeing some things and I want to make sure that it's 100% in the pipeline going to happen before I put it in the universe for it to be spoken of.
Okay.
I guess I'll close out this Christmas BS segment with some of the best gifts I've ever gotten. I am officially engaged now. My fiance last
Dun-dun.
Christmas, she got me Final Fantasy Origins, which is I believe the remake of the very first Final Fantasy, which is also I think the first rated M one that instead of Final Fantasy
What?
16.
This is a
Yeah.
rated M one?
Yeah, that one I think is like it. I know it's rated M, but I think that one was the first one instead of
Huh.
16. She also got me Pokemon Legends of Arceus, and I'm kicking ass in that. I am a Pokemon master. And then also, my brother had got me. I'm not in the usual recording booth right now, but he got me a on air sign, which sometimes you'll see me just move off to the side, just flash it off to the world to see.
Oh God. I need one of those.
It's
Eh,
nice.
I got
It's got
these.
the hooks for me to like mount it to the wall and plug it up and to turn it on. But I'm like, I need to figure out if I really want to put it on the wall first because I have plugged it in before and it's nice and bright,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if I want to because I'd have to move some furniture around and I am absolutely not doing that. And I don't feel like trying to find a long cord either.
I
So
don't
I'm gonna
blame
work
you.
out something.
I do not blame you. I don't know. I don't know what kind of. I don't know. I enjoy all the gifts that I get, basically from everybody and everywhere. I don't know. I really don't know. I did enjoy the drone that my brother, and my dad. Well, my brother ended up getting me. It was the like DJI Phantom 3. That was dope. Even though that series had like a lot of issues, it was nice
Really?
practice. Yeah, they actually forced that one out so quickly that they had to make the 4 early, and the 4 is just a better updated version of the 3 without all the hiccups and with a different shell style. It had a lot of gimbal issues and updating issues. Even with the Pro Edition, it got a little screwy. I don't know. Whenever I got basically, yeah, I got like whenever I got a new game system, that was pretty dope. I don't God of no, that was Easter. God of War was Easter.
Yeah, God of War was Easter.
That was
Pin.
for me.
I've got Pin in the collectible closet, and I have him on a
Nice.
hook, so he's flying.
I have
I'll take a
fallen
picture
for
of it and send it to you later. But Pin, he's just
I did put up oh my god. I did put up the gifts that you sent me this year. They're on my shelf over on my side over here, and they're just chilling. Subaru does have her duck
nice.
out.
I have to
Uh,
get the posters you guys got me laminated, which I haven't had time to do because I haven't been able to go over to my mom's and drop them off.
got it.
But I know once I get those laminated, I've already got the places marked off where I'm gonna put those up.
Don't worry, Josh. Your gifts are here. We just have to get them to
Josh,
you.
I have your gift. I just need to freaking mail it. And I'm apologizing that it's so late.
He has a new address, so
That's right, he does.
yeah. So you need to get that.
We'll make time for it, and Josh is going to show them
Here's his
all off.
address. No, just no. No, goddamn. He would be so mad at us. But anywho, so we
But I
start the
think that's
episode.
about it. You ready to get into the grim adventures of BiIlly and Mandy Save Christmas?
Why not?
I'll actually take this one away.
because you
There's a
really
lot of reasons I picked this one. So this is it's the Christmas special for the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And it starts off, with Santa, with Grim doing the introduction, talking about Santa and how it's that time of the year to figure out who's naughty, who's nice. Santa also has ho 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 brass knuckles, which is absolutely terrifying. That's out of every iteration of Santa, that has never left my memory.
it
And it's just stayed locked in because that's a terrifying thing. Imagine you're naughty. Ho, ho, here's your lump of coal. And then it cuts to Grim, Billy, and Mandy and a line for the bathroom, but really it's a line for Santa. We learned that it is Billy's neighbor Scar, who is just working a Christmas job because he needs the money to pay for his supervillainy. And then Mandy, being the Debbie Downer that she always is like, there's no such thing as Santa. Santa's just a corporate tool used to make people go out and be cheery, merry, and blah, 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 blah. And Grim's like, he's real. I went to college with him and I know his wife. I was at his wedding. And so Mandy calls his bluff after Billy relieves himself on Scar's Santa chair. And then chaos ensues and the mall burns down.
Yes.
So then Grim opens a portal to go to the North Pole. And then they learn that Santa has been bitten by a vampire and he wants to kill the world and suck people's blood. Mrs. Claus leads them on a wild goose chase to the head vampire, who's not the head vampire because there's a head vampire, and that's the one who had turned Santa. And while they are off on their wild goose chase, Billy is helping Mrs. Claus do some of the, mediocre tasks like such as feeding the reindeers, cleaning up around the workshop, and also making sure that the elves get everything done timely, in time for Christmas. After the Grim, Mandy, and the head vampire Baron von Ghoulish come back, they learn that Mrs. Claus is actually the head vampire, and she's the one who bit Santa because she is tired of always having to pick up the slack and do the work because he focuses solely on Christmas and nothing else. And then it cuts to Billy, who is in Santa's private study and finds a break in case of emergency glass. And it's a recipe for basically making milk and cookies to fix Santa. And as we're about to see a climactic battle between Mandy the douchebag and Nancy Claus, Santa comes out and he's like, "Hey, Nancy, I'm sorry. I should have done better. I should have done more. Please forgive me, babe. I'll do better." And she's like, "Oh, I can never stay mad at you. I love you too much." And they make up, and it's a very happy Christmas reunion. And Baron von Ghoulish insults them, saying, "Look at this mess. Only humans can live like this. Filthy, disgusting creatures." And he's in an apron with a push broom, just cleaning up all of the mess around this workshop. And then at the end, it is Christmas Day. Mandy gets a lump of coal. Grim gets his scythe back, which I don't properly understand. But I mean, hey, it's Grim and Santa. I'm pretty sure he threw in some kind of upgrades to the scythe.
There's a candy cane function.
And it ends with playing a badass rock song, and it should have had a French bulldog skating down some stairs to really set it off.
Really?
I'm really into dogs skateboarding the rock music. Yep. Have you ever seen a Frenchie skate down some stairs and actually kick off?
Yeah, I remember the freaking first time that they started dropping videos of dogs skateboarding. God, Robin Big brought that thing around. Me showing out the first bulldog doing it.
Coolest shit ever, but that's beside the point. So, I'm
Best
sure you're
part
wondering,
is the commercials.
Why the hell did I pick this? I was thinking of Guilford Gottfried, and I remembered Guilford Gottfried voiced Santa.
He did.
And it was the funniest thing.
He did.
And he did a good job doing it. Guilford Godfrey did do a very good job with all the
The
growls, the
Godfrey
roars,
noises. It's just noises. It's just him.
just
It's
Guilford
just
Godfrey's
him.
having
It's just
fun.
him doing his daily routines. They said, Guilford, just pick up the damn box. And then that's it. Or do this. And just had him just make noises. It's just, that's all. Oh, the Gilbert Godfrey. I forgot he was Santa. I'm not gonna. I remember this episode. I really freaking do. And I forgot because I was so young. I didn't care about voice actors. I just said, "Oh, it's Santa just as a vampire." Now I
Which,
watch it. It's Gilbert Godfrey as Santa.
and I think that is the coolest thing because we've seen movies where Santa goes on a murder spree or Santa is crazy and deranged some kind of way. This was the first time Santa was set up to be a living undead monster, and he knew that eventually that this would happen, and he set up fail safes just
This
in
is the
case.
seventh time it happened.
Yeah,
He
he knew it was
mentions
going
it
to
in the
happen.
show. It happens per like every other year. She bites him and turns him to a vampire. We almost lose Christmas because he's a freaking piece of shit. That's it. He just sits there on his ass and goes through his lists of people. Well, is doing his job. He's literally doing his job. The wife is
Nice,
mad that he's doing
nice,
his job.
nice, naughty,
I'm not
nice,
okay.
nice.
No, no, no. Because his next naughty was not an okay naughty. That's like now that like that's like the old like adult humor because we knew what he was looking at. We know. Oh no. Because that list was everybody, not just that was everybody in the world. Oh god.
But I always like going back to Billy and Mandy rewatching it is always fun, but there are certain episodes that stick out more than others. And there's so many memorable moments in this. The first one of the few times Billy was right and he saved the day.
I know.
And we
It's
also got the Billy was right dance,
he,
which looks like it was heavily inspired by Michael Jackson, some other moves from the disco era, and then just a
you
culmination
know,
of a child watching too much television.
you know that like I hate to say it, this episode represents me and Billy sometimes because I'm like I hate it when Billy's fucking right. And Billy was right in this episode. And I'm like Billy has this little dance. I know when am I gonna see this dance with our friend Billy in real life? And it's just like because whenever he's right, I'm like waiting for him to do a dance, or I'm just like whatever because like I'm just like fuck. That's how I feel when Mandy said Billy's right. Why? He's Billy right for once.
But my absolute favorite part was Grimm and Baron Von Ghoulish doing their little impromptu musical number. And we're lost. Oh, so lost.
Oh god.
And we can't even feel our fingers. No, we
They're
can't.
undead. They're fucking dead. My
This
only wish
episode,
for Christmas is that when I was a little boy, I wish I could save Christmas one year. Then Grim is like, when I was a little kid boy, I wish I could save Christmas with a vampire. And
it's
let's
the
do
funniest
this.
thing.
And
It's
Mandy's like,
so funny.
whatever. Let's just get over it. I'm like, I remember this so much, and thanks to because Jerry found this on YouTube for us, and we have old commercials
Floam.
that made it even better because
I was
now we're
hoping
going
it had the Zoo
backwards.
Pals commercials.
The zoo, oh god, no, the zoo pals. Oh god, the
Because I
and
thought it was on. So, obviously Cartoon Network partnered with Warner Brothers. Yeah, Warner
yeah,
Brothers. and they have a lot of their catalog on HBO Max, whatever it's called now. I still call it HBO Max.
Hmm.
But certain episodes aren't on there because of copyright infringements. And I thought this one was on there because Billy and Mandy was on there.
Hmm.
And then when I went to go look for it, I had literally text Crispy, I think, what, like 1 or 2 o'clock, something like that.
Yes, you sent it
And
to
I
me.
was
Yeah.
like, hey, this isn't on Max, but I found it on YouTube. And I was just very taken away because I looked into it. It's not on there because of copyright infringement on a couple of songs, or I think maybe the song at the end or in the
Really?
beginning. It never really specified.
Huh?
And I'm like, how can you not just afford to pay somebody? Here's $50,000.
Oh,
Shut up and just let me do this one episode. Or
so
here's 3% of whatever the watch revenue is. Get the freak out of the way, buddy.
it's Warner Brothers. If it's right now, they don't want to give up the money.
They
Last
can't
time I knew, they're
afford
still
to.
in the hole, and Aquaman's not helping them right now. So yeah, um, but
James Gunn, save us.
true. But I love how the part where Billy's doing the montage of him helping out Mrs. Claus, and he ends up falling in the battered gingerbread dough, like yeah, gingerbread dough, and he just drops down in a fucking house form, and he's just sitting there, and two gingerbread cookies come up, and like, oh honey, this one has two bathrooms and a bath, and then he eats them. He just murders them, and we're not going to talk about it. Those
Mm-hmm.
ginger people had a life going for them, and Billy just ruined it. Just gone.
I also picked it because I remember that scene. And I'm like, well, what? Why did he have to kill the gingerbread people?
He's a
Which
freaking murderer.
played into the
How
movie
did
we're going to talk about.
how did how did Santa not see that on his list? That should have been an automatic naughty. That should have been a nope. You were good. Nope. Now you just murdered.
I
You,
think him saving Santa
he gets the
overrided the
basilisk.
fact he committed murder.
No, he gets the basilisk, Jerry. He gets the basilisk. Come on now. He literally started off. He pisses on his neighbor's leg, gets him abused and fired, and
Merry
life.
Christmas.
Yes, that doesn't seem right at all. But at the same time, he gets the mall lit on fire. It's just like, okay, we're already starting with chaos. Mandy's just chilling in the background, but she already has a rep of her own already before this happens.
She was the Scrooge the entire episode,
Yeah,
even after she was proven wrong. And she tried to kill Santa after she did her dance number to, bring him back to his
the
sanity,
dance number.
and was like, I want to rid the world of your kind, vampire scum. And then Grim, with like the tip of the scythe, just drags her back and is like, you're not ruining Christmas, Mom. Come on now. And she's just flinging the stake at him like, you're lucky death was here to save you. And I was like, how just of a bitch can you be?
It's
And Grim
Mandy.
said a very good point. The childhood wonder just bypassed Mandy
No,
because she's literally an 80-year-old Ebenezer Scrooge. Get off my lawn. Can't
oh
you see
god,
I'm trying to count money?
you just go off to the yard part. Oh my god.
That's literally Mandy.
But like, it was just, it's yeah. I don't know. It's just, I'm not gonna lie. The only person that deserves a gift in this episode, in my like vision of this, is just Grim. It's Grim because Grim tries to spread the holiday cheer. To
Grim,
satisfy everything, he brings them to the North Pole to show Mandy that Santa's real. Then at the same time, he decides to save Santa, that's his friend, and then becomes friends with a vampire. Instead of trying to kill him, he tries to become friends with him instead of Mandy trying to stab him. That destroyed his handy dandy pocket vacuum.
and after she also committed a crime of breaking his window, which
True,
is
she broke
illegal,
it
that's
in. Yep,
breaking and entering, and
yep.
Grim told her, Why'd you break the window? We had the element of surprise,
I know she
which
could have
was
made it through like
true.
the door.
And then she also tracked mud on her dirty fucking shoes on his bed sheets,
True.
which in itself is another criminal act. I don't care who you are or what the reason. If you sleep with socks on in the bed or you wear shoes to bed, you should be taken to a 1930s mental asylum and kept there. That is the most awful thing anyone could do. And then when she stabbed him, she went too far to the left, and so now he's got scorch marks all on the nice carpet. That really was a nice ice carpet. And he's like, "Well, great. I'm going to be picking soot and ash out of my carpet for all of eternity. Thanks. And who's going to pay my cleaning bill? And who's going to pay to fix my window?
It's
This was made by
ice.
local artisans. That's not cheap. He's supporting small businesses, even as a high class member."
Yeah, and he's a vampire.
Who was very respectable. He
He
raised his voice and gave them a stern talking to,
he
which
did.
I've always said, why do they always have to fight? Why not just give people a stern talking to and call the police when they do something illegal? Like breaking your window.
So you finally got your wish. There's your wish. And then yeah, no, like yeah, definitely Grim. He becomes friends. He ends up stopping Santa getting murdered. Yeah, yeah. No, definitely Grim is like the MVP of nice here. Literally the MVP of nice. Other
Yeah.
than the vampire, he's second because he's just got added to
He
the
was the
story.
innocent bystander in all
Yeah,
this.
he's just innocent. He joined a little adventure that he shouldn't be part of, but he ends up becoming part of it and all that junk. And then he hides in a tree. He doesn't go and try to kill. He just hides. He runs away.
You gotta know when to
Oh
fold them. Know when to hold them. Know when to
God, no.
walk away. Know when to run.
Oh, he definitely ran. I forgot Santa's wife was. I did forget for some reason Mrs. Claus was the vampire.
I did too
I
because
did.
I thought it was the Baron that was the vampire, which obviously he was, but I'm like, no, that's not right because Mrs. Claus has a weird angle in this.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It screwed me up. I just know that. Like I remember watching this as a kid, and but it's been forever since I watched Billy and Mandy. But
Yeah,
now I'm just like I'm watching. I'm like, okay, they're gonna get to the Grand Vampire, whatever he is. The man, like, we're gonna get there, and then like after I watched it, I got to a certain point. I'm like, fuck, it was Mrs. Claus. I got to the part where they're tracking through the snow, and I'm like, wait, they're going back to Santa's house. That's her. That's the vampire house.
yes. And the one thing that still annoys me to this day, you have the head vampire, which is Baron von Ghoulish,
Yep.
and he's the 13th Baron in his family's clan.
Yep.
But the Vampire Society, I'm just gonna say like 300 centuries ago, not 300 centuries ago, 3 centuries ago, because that's 300 years, stupid. They decided to add a head vampire. That is some goofy shit vampires would do because they'll always find a way to do something that makes no sense, but just make it work because they're immortal. What if they get bored of it? They'll just change it again.
Yeah, it's just no. They always have to have something fancy instead of just like going with like the leader, the alpha. No, they just go. No, they do always change up something to make it more grand or more spectacular for the name for vampires.
Like it's
Because if you get
vampires.
werewolves
Vampires
is like,
are
oh, there's the
immortal.
alpha.
So
That's it.
there has to be the oldest one does have to lead the coven, the sect, tribe, however, what vampire lore may have you. I like doing it underworld style because
So how
that
old
was
is
badass.
Mrs. Claus?
Mrs. Claus, I would say she would have to be roughly around the same age as Santa because when
Because
they got
Santa,
together, she was young and hot.
I know that's the sad thing. No, sorry, but
And
like
then,
it's
obviously,
no, but like
years passed
they're
and
when they
stuff.
meet, but the way that logic doesn't make sense with Billy and Mandy.
No.
Always remember that logic does not make sense because the goddamn thing like is showing them more like in like the 1800s time period, and
Mhm.
then the the other vampire, look, he has the powdered white wig. He's 1600s, 1700s.
He's very
Like,
colonial era.
yeah, he's
Back
very
when they
colonial
were
style.
wearing wigs to cover up the lice they had.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at Mrs. Claus. I'm like, in her flashback, I'm like, bitch, how old is Santa? Like, this doesn't make sense for Santa. Santa should be old, like as hell. I don't know. The logic does not make sense. But Santa
But
did like to leave gifts everywhere.
what doesn't make sense
What?
is the fact, number one, Billy was in the North Pole for so long in just his standard shoes, jeans, and t-shirt and hat
Yes.
without freezing to death. And then
When they
he
walked to the
also
house.
had the strength of not only his internal organs, but whole body after he licked that sleigh and was pulling it like it was just a sled.
He's a pack mule, dude. Come on now.
So this now brings the question, how strong is this little boy? Because
That's
that
called
sleigh has
Google.
to weigh at least 5 tons.
Oh, let me Google that. Is now I'm pondering. But I did Google this for you, Jerry. Like, because you said this is Vampire Santa, there is a movie in IMDb, the Vampire Santa 1, the beginning.
Hmm.
It's a weird one. I don't know. I haven't clicked on it yet, but that's the name of it. So I'm
The
assuming
vampire.
there's what the beginning. How strong?
Well, while Crispy looks this up, I'm going to just give some little small insights that I've always been curious about. Because watching this Christmas special did make me think, if Santa was infected with an undead disease, such as vampirism, lycanthropy, because depending on what version of werewolves you go through, they're considered undead. And could you turn Santa into a zombie?
Oh,
We've seen that he can be a vampire, so I feel like werewolves on the table, zombie, I don't think so much.
God. Oh God, that's a horrible thing, Google.
I'm scared.
Okay, so I don't know if I can say this one on it. Is Billy autistic? From Billy and Mandy. That's what comes up in my searches right now. They're skipping the strength thing. It goes right to IQ. Billy's IQ is extremely low. It's a -5. Have been outperformed by even an elemental just objects, just regular brooms and stuff like that stuff. He is that dumb. Yeah, they're
So they're just focusing on whether or not Billy is developmentally challenged or not.
yes, on this one, I think yeah, that's where we're going right now. They're
Okay.
going that direction. Well, that's Google.
Thanks, Google.
That's Google.
You know what? We
um,
should have used Bing because I don't know how to feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about that either, but yeah, I found Reddit and they're not helping either with the most powerful character in Billy and Mandy. Yeah, we're not getting an answer right now.
Of course not. But
Yeah.
use the Google saying that did spark this that I completely forgot to share. So it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago was the anniversary of Ed, Ed and Eddie. And Crispy is saying that Google people on Google were searching whether or not Billy was autistic made me remember this. Ed
Oh
from
no.
Ed, Ed and Eddie has been confirmed with ADHD.
Makes sense.
And I was like, I figured he might just have standard ADD, not ADHD. But I was like, oh, that's different. He's got ADHD.
Hmm.
And also, Double D mails his socks to people that he's in love with.
All right, we're done. We're done with the podcast now. Have a good night, everybody. We're becoming super pals, one episode at a time. I'm Matt. Next episode is gonna be this. Oh my god!
But
Actually, that was probably the best outro I've done in my life. Actually, being disgusted by that.
but
Imagine that.
this
Just im-
special, I
no,
always
Jerry.
hold
Imagine
on
that.
to it.
Now you get a pair of socks from somebody, just randomly, a used pair of socks.
Real or fictitious, by the way.
Yeah, just imagine. Just you're as a cartoon character, you in real life, you just get a pair of fucking socks
Mm-hmm.
used from this person, and there's no other thing, nothing else, just the socks.
But Billy and
King of the
Mandy,
Steve.
this Christmas special definitely captured the heart of what Christmas is in the most fun way possible. You've got a silly gang of characters combating, like I said before, because as we saw, Mrs. Claus had no ill will. She just literally needed a break from doing all the housework, which, having one person just do one thing and then another person take care of everything else, it's gonna cause a big wedge to divide them. But obviously, after Santa apologized and said, I'm gonna be better, and Billy talking about eating yellow snow, which I don't condone unless you want to die, because that's urine.
Other than if it's lemon flavored ices, like
I don't even do that.
okay, I
It has to be any other flavor but lemon.
like that, like the scene from Monster Inc. Lemon ices, lemonade ices. Come on, no,
Not even shaved ice.
okay,
Not even shaved ice.
okay.
But this whole debacle that they went through is so Billy and Mandy. Not even just Billy and Mandy. It's so cartoonish that I almost wish they made fun of it in the episode, because at no point did anyone ever stop and think, you know, maybe if we just wait where we are and just think logically, we'll figure it out. Let
No,
make it Scooby Doo it.
no, it's not allowed. No,
No, we have to.
no.
We have to go pick up a new side character, get a couple of quippy and memorable lines from him, and then also we gotta somehow fix what's wrong with Santa. Yeah, that's typical cartoon fashion.
Yes, no. There's no logic. You can't put logic in Billy and Mandy.
No,
There's no because Billy's always breaking the fourth wall of everything. Mandy's Mandy. She's just and then Grim is just doing
Grim is
Grim.
just their indentured servant for life
Yeah, he lost his
after
game.
they cheated and beat death and made him their slave.
True, they did. That's how it went. But yeah. Remember, Jerry, Billy has a bone in his nose.
He
He
does, doesn't
does.
he?
He does.
Mm.
Every time he gets electrocuted or
You see
X-rays,
it.
there's a bone.
You see
Speaking
it.
of his nose falls off and gets taken away in this episode, and it
And it
grows right freaking
regrows.
back.
It's like watching Deadpool regrow, but freakier.
What is Billy? You never know, actually.
It's
You never know.
freaky. But for me, this episode is a very, very solid 7. You could put this on in front of today's kids, And if they didn't laugh and enjoy themselves, something's wrong with them. Because you have cartoon violence, you have humor, you have Guilford Gottfried's voice. What more do you need?
I don't know. I just getting yelled at by Guilford Godfrey. Oh my god, that puts two together for me now because he walks like this. He's a vampire.
Yeah.
No, because I remember meeting him in real life, actually, kind of. We're at Mid Hudson, the Mid Hudson Comic Con. A couple years back, like let's at least say like five years back at least, and he was a special guest, and he had the security, and he's walking through the people, and he's just like this. Ah, what's happening? He's walking. He looked like a freaking vampire and everything. Oh, makes
Nosferatu.
sense. Makes sense.
So Guilford Godfrey's not dead. He's undead. But not no Andy. He's not undead Andy.
No, he's not undead ending. But no, where is he now then?
He died.
Well, he's undead.
He's in Cuba with Tupac.
Got it. For my answer for this is gonna be, I'm gonna give this one actually a 6. It's nice. It's a one time of the year thing. I'm not gonna throw this one on every other week if I wanted to, and including now I have to go on YouTube thanks to Jerry's digging around and discovering that this is not allowed
Yeah.
on freaking was it HBO Max or Max, whatever the heck it is. So giving it a 6. It's a good episode, but it's just whatever. It's fine. It's good. It's just funny. It's a fun episode. The commercials made it even better a little for me. If the commercials weren't there, uh, still a 6. Yeah, I still have to call some of those numbers to get some of those products, see if they're still alive. I do want that flashlight you can shake it, everlasting flashlight one.
Honestly, I forgot that thing was even a product that was sold because that seemed like such a fever dream.
No,
I
half
really
of
want to talk
those.
about the commercials, but I'm like, some of these commercials, I remember the product having to be canceled because kids were choking on it or like they were trying to eat it. And it was
But
toxic.
why? But okay, well, never mind. Let's get to the next topic. But yeah, those commercials are freaking. Oh, good
They're a
God! I
product
remember
of the
all of
past.
them.
I'm surprised we didn't see a Chia Pet one.
Oh God.
Chia.
Chia. Oh God.
But
Including the little
next,
commercials for Cartoon Network to get you to the next thing. Oh God, those are old.
now we're getting into the meat and potatoes, if you will, with the Ginger Dead Man.
The
And
gingerbread
Crispy,
man.
I want you to give us the quick synopsis of the Ginger Dead Man.
Let me embrace my Gary Busey. No, 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 no. Oh God. So the Ginger Dead Man is a, oh God. Oh heavens. It's a, I don't even know if this is even a holiday. It doesn't even, so
It's a
this
holiday
begins,
movie.
it's not a holiday movie because they don't even speak about freaking Christmas. So to me it's not a holiday movie. It's just a random ass, should have been a porno, but it wasn't a porno enough freaking movie. Um so it takes off as, it's like 4 years technically. I think it's like 4 year, like it takes off where like this guy's robbing a bakery, and he ends up shooting the owner and his son, knocking out his wife that's a waitress, and shooting the daughter off screen. So I assume he shot the window that she's standing in front of. And then he hears the cops and he says, "Oh no, the cops!" And he leaves. But his saying is this: when he's before he shoots the daughter, he's like, "Mother said you have to kill everything." He's like, it's weird. He's just explaining like his mom tells him not to leave dead end, like anything, just anything alive. He has to, if he's doing the job, does the job correctly. He doesn't freaking end it, like leave like a living person to tell a tale or whatever. He left two people alive. Goes into the future. The daughter now owns her own bakery, and it's like I think 4 year, a couple, yeah, at least couple years or 4 years into the future, and Gary Busey has been captured and he's in prison, and they end up executing him and cremating his body, and sending his ashes to his mother. And the daughter is prepping for stuff and ends up having, it doesn't even say it's Christmas time, even though it's hinted it's Christmas time in a way because they're making gingerbread man, and they end up getting a box of from like a mysterious
Ashes.
person. It's a box that says Grandma's gingerbread man spices, and as a mysterious cloaked person drops it off, and they end up taking in the one guy that helps out. His name's Brick, uh, or Breck. Is it Breck or Brick?
Brick.
Okay, he's Brick, and he ends up helping out the daughter and unboxing the spice, and he ends up cutting his arm. And like I don't know how he would have cut his arm doing this small but anyway, he gets blood in the gingerbread mix, the gingerbread spice mix, and it finds out the blood adding to the mix ends up creating a life form out of it. It finds out it ends up being the ashes of Gary Busey, and the daughter ends up like getting the brick fixed up, and she ends up scooping that shit into this dough mix and makes gingerbread men with this dough mix, and successfully makes just one giant one. It's a foot long bastard, and she throws them in the oven. And as that's happening, the rich girl from across the street decides to freaking come in and drop rats in her bakery because she wants the victim's bakery to close so her bakery can blow up and be the only bakery in town so she can be even richer. Spoil little bitch. And as this is happening, the gingerbread man comes to life and starts wrecking shit. And they end up getting to a cat fight at the same time. And the boyfriend of that chick shows up and tries to fix it all. And they discover the gingerbread man is running a freaking muck inside the place. And the boyfriend decides to get his only gun, gets his gun, and tries to shoot the shit out of the gingerbread man. Doesn't work, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. The gingerbread's like it's Chucky. He's setting up like traps everywhere to kill people, and they get to the point where they finally have the mother, the extra help, in the building taken down, and they're all and the three the main victim and the boyfriend of the spoiled bitch are held at gunpoint by the gingerbread. The Latina helper, don't know her name. I don't think they even
Julia.
is
It's
that her
Julia.
name?
Yeah.
Okay, she comes out and slaps that bitch with a fucking pan, and oh yeah, and Brick shows up with because he went to a wrestling thing. He's in a wrestling gear, but he gets shot at a couple times. So as the gingerbread man gets hit by the pan, Brick jumps on the gingerbread man and bites the shit out of him and eats the gingerbread man and turns into Gary Busey this internally and ends up getting killed because he's Gary Busey now. They end up shooting him. It doesn't work, and then they throw him in the oven. They cremate him again in the worst way. It's just they just committed a murder. I don't even. It's just a bad movie. In the whole movie, it's from the '90s or the early 2000s, and it's filmed with the worst cameras ever because the freaking I was okay. I was watching Dungeons and Dragons in 4K ultra 4K on my TV right before I watched this, and then I went and rented the freaking Ginger Dead Man. And then the Ginger Dead Man quality of the video was so bad, I had to check my TV and my Wi-Fi to see if I'm watching this correctly because it was so blurry. God. I'm surprised I saw anything happen throughout that movie. It got bad with how blurry it was. And it oh god, oh Jesus Christ. This is a bad movie, Jerry. This was a bad movie. It's a 2 for me. I've been trying to avoid this movie forever in my life. I've seen the picture. I've seen everything of the ginger dead man. I don't want to touch it. I didn't want to touch it until Jerry said, "We're watching this," and I'm like, "Watching what? Ginger dead man?" I'm like, and then I saw the photo. I'm like, "Oh shit, no!" And then like, then then I before I even watched the movie, they already showed me the sequels. And the second movie is called The Ginger Dead
Passion
Man
of the crust.
Passion of the Crust, and then you have the Ginger Dead Man versus the Big Bong or something like
The
that.
evil
Evil
bong.
Bong, that's it. It's a female Bong with titties.
There is a separate set of movies about an evil bong.
Yeah,
They
Evil
did a
Bong. Then
small
you have the.
crossover.
Oh God, it's just why. It's just a lot of why. It's just
Oh god.
no, no. They do the whole revolver. Oh God, the whole gun thing. I was so happy the blonde girl died because they all suck. They all suck. I'm hands down. They all suck because like, why did we get the relationship thing happening with the boyfriend and the victim girl from the beginning? Like the owner of the bakery, like she's like
Oh god.
they end up like it's just so stupid. Like, oh yeah, I remember you back in my fifth grade birthday. Blah 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 blah. You're talking to me at the punch bowl, and you what's it called? You tried to kiss me or something, and I punched you in the nose. And he's like, oh, you're the bitch that punched me in the nose. It's like, yeah, I was. And you're like, oh god, they got to make out, and then no, they don't make out. They get interrupted. And then later on, there's hanging out. The blonde girl is just walking around, and then she gets stabbed in the fucking head. And they hear her fucking collapse, I believe, but they made out right before she dies.
Oh
the
god.
the Latina girl, Jessica, what's her name again?
Julia.
Julia, she gets knocked out, thrown in the fridge, all iced up with freaking whipped cream, and she can't move. They can't remove the freaking whipped cream from her because I think she's in the freezer, and the freaking gingerbread man's perverted and made her boobies out of whipped cream, and they couldn't get rid of the whipped
Oh
cream at all because it
god.
froze to her. The mother's an alcoholic and she shoots guns and stuff. But where was that shotgun?
Oh
Where was the
god.
shotgun?
I said the
The
same thing. I'm like, if
mother
they just got
had a
off
shotgun.
one shot of the shotgun and he's dead, because
The
that buckshot's gonna get
the
him.
mother drew like she downing like whiskey like nothing. Like she was just like there's the beginning of like the part where she like you meet her like you first like actually meet her. She's drinking a decent size like bottle of Jack Daniels, and she's like already halfway through the damn thing, and she's just shooting at the new bakery's like grand opening sign, and she's hitting the sign with such precision that it's not even funny. And I'm like, this lady is the best shot drunk right now.
Yeah, she was a hell of a shot.
It's just, oh my god, it's just why. And then Gary Busey as a gingerbread man is even way crazier of an idea. I was expecting, I was not expecting. You know what that puppet reminds me of, Jerry? I hate you so much for this. It's those damn Donald Trump videos when he's eating the freaking what's it called, the beans. It reminds me of the freaking those videos you sent me, and I was expecting more of a Gary Busey sticking his head through a freaking like mold in the wall and like talking through that half the time. No, it's a puppet physically talking at the whole time. You can tell it's being puppeted and everything by a guy's hand and everything. And there's the one part where he threatens the mouse. The blonde puts in the restaurant in like in the bakery, and it's just like, "Hey, rat, blah blah blah. And he's just yelling at the rat. He's like, and the rat's just like, okay, I'm leaving. Fuck this, I'm out. Like, why do we do this? Like, what is happening? And the oven. Oh yeah, the mother's in the oven. I thought they're cooking the mother. I was expecting the mother being cooked, but no, she's just in the oven. And the oven always has the light on, the hell light. The fucking hell light on. And I think it's on, but it's not on. And then as they're in there in the oven, the so-called boyfriend, he gets like knocked out by the gingerbread man. The gingerbread man locks the door and runs away. And the boyfriend ends up picking up the revolver and shoots like 2 rounds into the door because I think they had the gas on in the oven instead. It opened up enough air to like let them breathe properly and unlock the door. Like it doesn't make none of this makes sense. It's just no.
I love that this movie broke you because you went right into everything else after the synopsis.
It's just no. It's just no. Like all of this is happening, and like it's bad when Gary Busey did not sign on for 2. When this is a bad movie when Gary Busey, the lead villain, the ginger dead man, his mother ends up making a tray of other gingerbread man that ends up coming to life at
Well,
the
yeah,
end,
he's
or
not
that's
the
just.
Pillsbury fucking Doughboy.
But Jerry, he's the face of the villain now, and he's just gone now. He just says, "Fuck this, I'm out. I'm not doing this." They end up getting another fucking guy to be Gary Busey now. So like, what the fuck?
So before I get into some of my things I
No.
want to say, do you think who do you think would win in a fight? Santa Claus or the Ginger Dead Man?
Santa fucking Claus. But no, the ginger dead man, because if he eats the fucking cookie, he turns into Gary Busey anyway. So ginger dead man wins any way possible. As long as the gingerbread man can get a knife, a gun, a reindeer's antler, whatever in this battle, or Santa just eats him, he just wins. He fucking wins.
Now,
And
I
the
think
cookie had guts. It had blood. It didn't just be just a. It wasn't just a cookie. It had innards. It was
now I do
innards.
think it would be a good fight to see because Santa has the elves. And that's part of Santa's motif. He's got the elves. He knows who's naughty or nice. He knows if you're sleeping or if
No,
you're awake.
wait. He has the power of the elves.
He has the elves.
We
So
we
this
we
is
can
like a
use the
full-on
elves.
fight.
Okay, so if Santa knew what happened, I would have freaking elf number 3 eat the cookie, and see what happens to elf number 3. Elf number 3 ends up turning to Gary Busey. I would have elf number 1 and 2, my best elves, hold him down as I cut off the elf head as Santa, and
But
we
don't
will lose
forget,
elf
the
3.
gingerbread man does have powers of his own.
What powers did he have other than taking over a body and
He
guns?
he
Whenever
can
weapons.
make more ginger dead men by incorporating himself into them.
Yeah,
And he's
but
very derisive. So his derisiveness and ability to just goad Santa into falling into the place where he knows he's going to set up a normal batch of cookies and milk
okay, I'm
will
thinking.
lead Santa into a false sense of security, giving him the win.
No, I I was thinking this was a one-on-one fight. Then you said Santa had abilities, so Santa has the elves. So I made my synopsis, like my situation here, and then you said now we're in a place. I was thinking they're in a standard like a house, and someone made and one cookie like the movie did. We didn't have any other things to make any other freaking gingerbread man. I hate you. I literally hate this so much. I feel like Josh. Ow. Ow.
Oh God.
But like, another thing that pissed me off. Well, I'm a baker. I used to be a baker. I can bake. I can do
OSHA
anything.
would shut that place down.
Oh
Number
no.
one.
Well, I've worked in worse. Um.
Bloodborne pathogens is an
No. No. No.
automatic shutdown.
Well, no. No.
The
No.
amount of blood in that dough.
Okay. Hold on. Time out. Time out. Time out. That guy cut his artery in that case. Okay. He literally cut his fucking artery, and I don't know how he's fucking surviving with an open artery because the way he cut his hand was
Yeah,
just a
that was
slit
something
across the
I
art like the
could
wrist.
not get past.
And the blood in the box, you throw away that box of stuff, of mix. So that's done. That seasoned stuff is thrown out. You don't do that no more. Her using that's the thing. She just dumbed it and didn't even care. She literally neglected the whole health and safety rules with this. They literally just said fuck it. There's no logic either with this movie, so they're not gonna care. She's just a dumb woman that just wants to make a gingerbread man because now she has the spices and like it's just okay. Um yeah, I don't know. It just but anywho, I'm gonna go right to the dough. A gingerbread man a ginger cookies, or a gingerbread man is not bread. It's not bread. It's dough. It's a doughy material. It's a standard cookie. This motherfucker made fucking bread and rolled out a fucking bread and made a gingerbread man out of it. Like, that's not no. That's not how you make that. That actually annoyed the shit out of me as a person that knows how to do this. That's wrong. That's a different kind of thing. You're making a gingerbread. That's gingerbread, not gingerbread
Oh God.
cookies. Um. Oh God, and she decorated like it was gonna be a cookie and everything too. So don't you say, well, it's okay because it's a gingerbread man and all that stuff. So it's okay if she made it from bread. No, she dressed up like a cookie. No, unless it's a sweet bread, then it'd be okay. No, no, no.
What about the 13 bullets in the revolver without needing to be reloaded
Oh, the
by the
specialty
gingerbread man?
bullshit gun, like the whole.
Because that
No,
falls
I
into his
counted.
powers.
I counted. No, 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 no. Because the boyfriend only grabbed the gun. He never grabbed bullets. The gun was already loaded with 6 rounds in the chambers. It's a revolver. I counted it. He shot all 3 like an idiot at the freaking at the shelving. Then he shot 2 in the damn freaking oven. There was 1 bullet left. And then the fucking gingerbread man turned that shit into a fucking 20 freaking semi-automatic machine gun. Like, he was
That's
just
a part of
firing it
his
off
powers.
like
He
no
can
tomorrow.
magically load bullets.
And then after the gingerbread man gets the gun knocked out of his little palms, the boyfriend gets the gun again and never reloads it again and fires, I think, was it 2 or 3 rounds into Brick before Brick gave the face like, I'm immune, bitch. I'm not dying, bitch. And then they said, into the oven you shall go. And they fucking threw him in the oven and left him in the oven. And I'm not gonna lie, it's just I feel bad for Brick. I feel bad for Brick because Brick liked the girl and the bakery. He wanted her to go to the freaking. He's like, I got a ticket to the wrestling thing. If you want to go with me, I'm gonna be in it. I'm gonna be the freaking Baker Butcher, whatever his name was.
The
And
Butcher Baker.
Butcher Baker, that's
Honestly,
it.
Brick did not deserve what happened. He
No.
was just a casual guy, like, hey, I've got, he's trying to flirt. And
Yeah.
it honestly wasn't a bad attempt because he was like, it's an amateur night. And honestly, this is very off topic, and I apologize. So years ago, before I dropped out of college, yes, everyone, I'm a college dropout. Sue me if you want. I'll sue you
I
back.
never went.
I went to a amateurs night for, like just a concert. It was
Uh-huh.
so good. Like I had fun. They had, like little small finger food and hors d'oeuvres and, free waters because, hey, water's free down here. We don't have to pay for it, thank God. And I was like, you know what? This is cool. I can't go back there again because it got destroyed in the Christmas bombing we had, but
Oh,
that's
God,
neither here
yeah.
nor there.
I remember the
But
mom.
honestly, an amateur night in the right setting is the funnest thing you can do. Because even though they're not trained professionals, they're putting forth their best effort at 300%. And who doesn't enjoy that? Like, you can't say, oh, they didn't put on a good show, or oh, it was too cheesy. You could tell like they faked the stunts. No, it was not. I actually wanted to see like small snippets of him at the WrestlePalooza, like winning or losing. But I bet you he would win because I feel like he'd be real squirrely.
Like I don't know. I was kind of like expecting like the Spider-Man scene, like when he was like in like the beginning. I'm taking off my headset for fix Matt, but yeah, like in the Spider-Man, like in the first movie, where it's like the steel cage match, and it's like
Yeah,
you got
and he's
three
like,
minutes with
and
me.
I've got 5 more
Thing.
minutes of playtime.
Yeah, and like it's just like that. And I was waiting for like that to show up, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then like we'll go back to like them shooting at the fucking place, and then him doing the wrestling moves and just knocking out or WrestleMania like a Royal Rumble thing, something like
Yeah,
that.
just
Like nothing.
something
We didn't get
fun.
nothing of the wrestling. This movie was an hour and 15 minutes, and we didn't. They just said we couldn't afford the wrestling and just left it as is, and then they bring them back into the joint, jumping in the action. And yeah, no, Brick did not deserve to get killed off of there. They literally just set him up. We playing Snake? Am I
Yeah, I'm
supposed
playing
to kill
Snake.
that? like, like what is? But like, no, it's just no. It's just like no. Brick is just a victim. He just he was the kind-hearted man that is trying to save the fucking day, and he gets freaking screwed over. It's bullshit.
One thing that I really want to understand.
You can't.
Number one, they're in Waco, Texas. So they're in the South, obviously.
Yep.
They're in Texas, number one.
Yes.
The mother, obviously, she can drink Jack Daniels better than me because I hate Jack Daniels. I think it's the worst
Yes.
whiskey ever sold. Well, let me not say the worst, but it's not my favorite. It's not my preferred, unless I'm getting an old fashioned. But where was all the other guns? Because Texas has the largest gun capita per population. So
I
obviously
that's
the fucking the business dad, where was his 6 shooter? Like,
dude, he
come
got
on out.
killed by a gingerbread man trying to drive.
And
That
why
man
was
had
it
enough
that the
time.
boyfriend and the mom were the only people with guns the entire
No, the
time?
gun from the mom is gone. We don't even know where that gun went to. The shotgun that was in the bakery. We don't even know where that is.
I can tell you
Gone
exactly where it is.
under the
It
counter.
is under the counter up front because
Yep.
you pull out. I was hoping like somebody would pull up with like a double barrel, like, oh, now we're getting down to some serious
No,
business. No, we
no.
see the ginger dead man fight the butcher baker,
Mm-hmm.
who had honestly their fight was my favorite part because you have this giant person on this little puppet and he's biting the damn thing. And his organs are like a
The
strawberry
cookie
pie.
wasn't cooked all the way. You saw how terrible he was tearing out the puppet. It wasn't cooked all. That was a cooked gingerbread man. It would have been one bite. The jar. What you want the what's the jar for? Oh no, no, Jerry, no, you can't do the. I understand. I'm a little colder than normal. Looks like right now. I'm at the 97.7. I'm close to 98%. 90%. I mean 90. Wow, 98 degrees. But
98.6.
oh my god. But no, it's just no. It's just
The
no.
I also had a couple of takeaways for this. Number one, in the
Okay.
beginning, why was Gary Busey so stone cold in killing the dad and the brother?
I don't know. He won
He straight
this.
up shot the dad
Yeah.
and that waitress. Like she had a bullet wound this fucking huge
Yeah.
from a 9 millimeter.
I thought the mom was. I thought that was the mom knocked out for some reason. I didn't notice. I
And
did
then
not pay
he's just
attention for that one.
taunting the son. He's just like, what'd you say? He's like, put the gun down, please.
And
So
then he
you gonna keep
stabbed the
asking me like
shit
a
out of
little
him.
bitch? And he's like, put the gun down, please. And he's just toying with him the whole time. And he's like, okay. And so he puts the gun down and then he pulls out the fucking switchblade. And he's like, the gun's right in front of you, son. What are you gonna do? And he just fucking stabs the shit out of him like
Yep.
he's a Christmas goose.
Yes.
And then the daughter, he's just playing the ultimate mind game of yeah, you're never gonna forget this. I'll make sure of it. And he's like, I'm not gonna kill you, but oh God, I got to do what my mother told me. I got to finish it.
Yep.
Pow! He shoots the window. And he's like, mother.
And he walks out because of the cops.
And something I don't know a lot about executions when it comes
Mhm.
to things of what they do with remains afterwards, but the fact that number one, obviously he got the electric chair, so they found him guilty. And in Texas, they do believe in capital punishment.
Mhm.
Why did the mother take it upon herself to bring his cremated ashes, knowing that he killed people, to the bakery of his
Because
surviving victim?
the mother was crazy too. Because we're getting another movie, and
It was a
she's
very Jason Voorhees kind
the
of
mother.
situation.
The mother. I think the mother is a witch.
That's what
I
I was
think she's a
thinking
witch
because
because when the box gets dropped off, we see a person in a black cloak walk away. You don't even see a standard outfit person or a normal person at all. You just see a cloaked object just go behind the corner and even the girls saw that and just said,
she
eh,
disregarded it.
yeah, she just
And
left it alone.
when the ashes get mixed into the dough, you hear the obviously like the chanting and
Yeah.
the things that go on with a cult or
Yep.
someone who's doing witchcraft. And I'm
Yep.
like, are they just stupid?
Yes.
I mean, you've basically said all the premises that's wrong with this movie, but something else that neither one of us has talked about. The mom and daughter have been offered $50,000 to close up their business and go somewhere else. Obviously back in 2005 when this movie was shot, but I guess it was themed in like still the later part of the 90s when diners were still pretty common.
Hmm.
I would have took 25,000 of that, put it in the bank. I would have took that other 25,000 and reopened like another business loan because he didn't say, "Oh, here's 50,000. I'm want to buy your building." He didn't say, "I want to chase you out of town." He's like, "I just want to buy your business and tear it down." You could have very easily taken the money and flipped it.
I know. It's the whole concept of this movie is just I get what they're going with. The whole I'm trying to do this in the because of my father and my brother dying and all this other stuff and trying to make some dreams happen and live a life again doing things like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, but if somebody is trying to outdo you and you're not performing the way you want, are performing, because that bakery wasn't performing.
No.
It was barely performing, and the help that she complained about the help that she had. The mother was an alcoholic, so they were losing a lot of money in their booze, and then they
Mm-hmm.
had Brick. There was only 3 people working at this bakery. She cannot afford to have
You
more
can't
than
afford the
3
staff you got.
people. Yeah, she couldn't afford it. So like this bakery was not performing the way she was performing. Like she needed to perform. I would take another buyout.
Like,
And then,
yeah,
if
it would have sucked because obviously, they helped build that, start that from the ground up.
yep.
But as a business person, you have to look at the bigger picture. Just because someone's giving you a buyout doesn't mean you've failed. It just means you need to restructure and come back,
Yeah,
which, businesses do, and they succeed sometimes with 3 times the revenue.
I'm
Or,
not gonna lie. That bakery, you know how big that fucking bakery was?
it was huge. The
Huge.
back, like I've been in the back of, in
Standard
huge
bakeries, like
kitchens and
small
stuff.
ones. Yeah.
That was the size of one of the new kitchens put into the schools we've built.
Mhm.
And it's like, when I say it's huge, like, I mean, you could have 50 people in there and they wouldn't be on top of each other in any capacity of the word.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just so stupid. It doesn't make sense. It just they had one oven, they had one mixer, they had a shit ton of storage.
They had so many storage racks,
Storage
and I'm like, on a busy
and
day,
all
you're only
kinds of stuff.
using two.
And then they lost inventory at one point too. In my head, I'm like,
Oh,
but they have
yeah.
all this inventory around them. So, and
All that
who
extra bread
misplaced
and
it?
shit.
Who misplaced the inventory, Brick? Was it you? You knew where it was because the only person working there, other than freaking the mother and what's your name, is you and the freaking owner, the daughter.
Oh,
And
my
the
God.
daughter doesn't care, looks like half the time.
Don't get me started on the fact every chance that they had to leave, somebody talked them out of it. And they were like,
Oh
no, we need
god.
to stay right here and figure out like how to deal with this problem. In this particular situation,
Uh-huh.
they should have just left. Like, I'm all for, in a horror movie, standing your ground in an area you know the best because you'll have the most opportune time to survive and set up things so the killer is gonna have a hard time getting to you.
Yep.
Gary Busey, as this fucking 13-inch cookie, took over that entire establishment in the course of what, like 4 or 5 hours? Maybe not even that, because it was only like an hour long. And I'll say within an hour, he 3 ninja'd the fucking bakery to perfection.
No, he's like how I explain it's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain this because
Gary
it's
Busey is the
just
ultimate villain.
he is, but
That's the takeaway.
it is, but it's bullshit because the only reason why he was able to take over that fucking bakery is because the bakery was way bigger than it should be.
That
All it
bakery was
is.
big. I
It was
had
just bigger
such an
than
issue.
and he was a thing. That was the only way they can properly freaking dude. It hurts me. I'm no.
There's just one final thing I just have to get off my chest. That rat was minding its own business before this blonde, and I've been waiting to use this. That rat was living a perfectly normal rat life, even though I think rats are filthy, disgusting creatures who should be fucking exterminated. That blonde bimbo
Uh-huh.
abused that rat by taking it out of whatever comfortable place it was in, because rats are going to stay where they're comfortable,
Yes.
putting them in this bakery with these fucking bread. Bread is not nutritious to any kind of rodent. All this is just a sweet shop. You're going to give this thing diabetes and kill it slowly, which is fucked up, number one. Number two, the rat really, the whole time you see him on screen, the rat's just grooming himself, and he's like, yes, 5 minutes of fame. Let me wash and bathe myself. And when Gary Busey, because you brought it up and I didn't have
Uh-huh.
time to interject because I was laughing my ass off. When Gary Busey was trying to pick a fight with the rat,
Uh-huh.
That's when I knew this movie was an absolute just travesty.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was like, "Come here, I'll kick your little rat ass." Huh? Where do you think you're going, little punk bitch? Hey, rat, get back here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Gary Busey, why are you trying to fight a rat? Rats have no problem eating their own limbs to escape traps. All he has to do, well, honestly, if the rat would have ate Gary Busey, that would have been a much more scary thought process because all he had to do at that point
Oh,
was just start
God.
pissing and shitting everywhere, and then they get an E. coli infection and die. And then
No.
that's the perfect revenge plan, the long haul.
Yeah, no, the whole I don't even know how to explain. No. If no, if the rat decided to eat him, and then the rat was Gary Busey, and then was trying to kill people, that'd be more interesting and creepier because the rat could like went into like their body through like a part of like some of their cavities or something like that, and ate the way out of them, or did all this other shit, or attacked them slowly, scratched their faces and everything, and do this all this other stuff. Or it could have mutated and like turned into something else and just been like walking around creepily and shit. I don't know. They could have went so much better direction with the fucking rat over the gingerbread man.
I would love to have seen the rat eat the ginger dead man and then
Oh my
pick up
god.
that fucking revolver and start shooting.
Ah, I upgraded. Pop, 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 pop.
Because as we all know, rats are very fast. People forget that rats are a very fast
No, rats
animal.
are fast. They're really fast creatures. They're really deviant creatures too. They and including their body can be flattened.
Mm-hmm.
They can go underneath all kinds of stuff. So you think that
They
you
can go
trap the
through
rat?
plumbing.
They can actually. That's even
I watched a
crazier.
video on that. It was freakiest
Oh,
thing I ever saw.
yeah, this
That's
is
not
not
funny.
okay. It's definitely not okay. They find the little bubble in the fucking toilet plumbing and then go up. Yeah, no, definitely no. They're smart creatures, so they would even be even creepier because they can lock the oven, and knowing this oven, it's fucking has a lip underneath it that has a gap, like a decent gap that it can fit itself under, and just keep thinking they're thinking they're cooking the rat, but they're not cooking the rat. It could have been a whole thing.
It could
Could have been.
knowing Gary Busey, he would have found a way to have been dexterous enough to use that tail to choke someone out.
God, Master Splinter, Gary Busey.
That's terrifying.
We made a better movie.
Coincidentally.
Oh no.
But
No,
for
no.
me, I'm right behind you. This movie, for me, I'm gonna give this movie a 3 because the amount of laughs you get from this is just I laughed so much I missed maybe 30 minutes of dialogue because I'm just in tears laughing at how awful this is.
I literally had to rewind the beginning of the movie because I didn't know what I heard. I heard her say something, and I had to rewind it to hear her say it again. And I can't remember what she said, but I heard her say something, and I said, "Wait, what did she just say to me?" And I had to rewind it a moment. And I heard it clearly on the second watch, and I'm just like, "No, we're not." The picture, the yeah, no. If we're gonna do final thoughts, this movie's a terrible movie. If you're gonna do this to yourself, do this with a bunch of friends. Do it when you're
Be
drunk
as
and high.
under the influence as possible.
Watch it during Halloween, not Christmas. It's not a Christmas
No, no,
movie.
no. This is a Christmas
This is
movie.
not a
You
Christmas
don't do
movie.
gingerbread for Halloween.
They don't even fucking mention it's Christmas ever in
There's
this
also
whole
not a lick
movie.
of snow on the ground, and people are very
Texas.
casually in short sleeve shirts. And
It's
I'm like, yeah,
Texas.
okay, this is Christmas.
Yeah, no, it's not Christmas at all. It was there's no stating the bitch made random gingerbread man. That was it. She made a random gingerbread because she had the ginger spice and all that stuff. That was it. That's all why it even happened. This whole damn movie.
But before we close out, Crispy, if you want to go ahead and drop next week's picks for everyone.
I thought next week's thing was our
Oh
special.
yeah,
Yes.
next week is our bonus episode. That's right.
Yes.
Thank you for reminding me. I
Then it'd
guess
be my
I
picks.
should do that. So next week, everyone, we'll be doing a bonus episode with our moderator. Our
Yes.
moderator will be with us, and we will be discussing not just the current state of superhero movies, but just the superhero movies as a whole since they've started cinematically, in a cohesive universe in 2008 up to this point. Be
Yes.
on the lookout for that. It's going to be some controversial things said. It's going to be some things, of course, agree, disagree with.
This podcast may end.
We are going to have a very thought provoking conversation because I've put pen to paper thoughts on this.
Oh God, I'm just imagining you as Charlie Day with a fucking wall of string.
Honestly, though, as past that, I would basically need a green screen right here so I could pull up a spreadsheet.
So I come to your house, you come to my house.
But everybody look forward to that. It's something I've had on my mind for a while, especially after some of the big movie purchases that have went on between franchises. But also it's also some things that me and Crispy have talked about privately, me and our moderator talked about, and of course the three me, Crispy, and Josh.
Big booty dandy, what are you trying to say to me right now?
She's saying
Face
that
purple,
she
wide
has
eyes,
a very
face
teary-eyed expression because she's finally going to come on the podcast and do a face reveal, and she doesn't know it, but on our Instagram poll that we did, 78% do want to meet our moderator. So this is going to be her this is going to be her debut stream.
It's gonna be great.
But
It's gonna be great. There's no running.
Nope. But everybody, please tune in. This bonus episode is one that has a special place for me because, well, you'll hear it in the episode. I don't want to give too much away. But we are going to close out for the evening. So this has been Jerry guiding you all with Green Lantern's light.
And I'm Superman's pal, Matt.
And we're becoming a dynamic duo, one episode at a time.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.